college credit because I had previously 30. I stayed for a year at Harold Washington. I had 30, and I was planning on going back to school anyway.
Well, there was a phrase in the flyer that said one of the classes that was being taught is critical thinking. And I always had a concern that as I was growing up, I didn't really understand that concept. And I wanted to know more about that. And if there was a procedure for enhancing that, I wanted to be a part of it. I wanted that experience.
It was refreshing to being part of a group that, I mean, to me was special. To me, it's special. It's a special type of group. I mean, any and everybody can be in that group, but then at the same time, any and everybody wasn't there.
When I first started the Odyssey Project, I must be honest, a lot of the books and a lot of the authors I have never known, had never been exposed to, except for William Shakespeare.
The most thing that caught my attention was when they said about the college credits. They was gonna have college credits, and that basically they was teaching the subjects that I really was interested in, so that caught my attention also. But college credits, yeah.
Well, what motivated me to do the bridge course, of course, was the first course. What motivated me to do the first course, of course, was my niece doing it. And, you know, I said, nothing beats a failure but a try. But once I got there, you know, I was pleasantly surprised. Didn't know what to expect, but very pleasantly surprised. The course has given me the opportunities to see life in a different light, and always, you know, I have a saying now, to always thirst for knowledge and to never let that thirst be quenched.
Oh yes, the course set me in a whole different direction. It actually truly changed my life. I know it sounds like a cliche, but it's true, you know. I tend to hunger to learn more all the time, wherever I'm at. If it's here at the office, if it's out in the world, you know, if it's at church, you know, I just hunger to learn more. You know, I just don't breeze over the surface of things anymore. I delve deep into what I'm reading.
Because of the Odyssey Project, it gave me confidence too to go back to school. So I'm doing online classes with the University of Phoenix.
Looking back on it, the Odyssey Project has influenced my life. It made me want to continue and move forward with my life. No matter what obstacles may come my way, I know there's a way that I can get around them. And just because it's an obstacle, it's not necessarily a detour, but I can move forward. You know, it may be a process to get around them, but it's not complete halt to everything.
I would say it helped me prepare for the future. Yeah, I would say that. The reason why I say it will help me prepare for the future is because, like I said, it helped me. I mean, when I was reading them books and everything, it helped me out a lot. Like, I started reading more and thinking about what stuff mean, and it just helped me out a lot. Now, when I start school at the end of August, it'll be stuff that I already know. Like, it's stuff I already know. So when I get in there, smarter than the rest of the students.
I think I do. I've been enlightened to the point where I look at society different. I don't judge people by their economic status. I don't judge you by the type of work or industry that you work in. I look at you as the person. What values do you have as the person? Morally, where do you come from? What door are you coming through? So because of the Odyssey Project, I believe that my mind's eye has been enlightened and free. Only other problem we had in our class was some very rambunctious students. So, you know, but just the writing workshop will probably be a good idea.
I completed the first year, and then I went the second year, and I stopped going. I had some issues, just personal issues I had to take care of at home.
So it was difficult for me traveling around and trying to get a young child to go to sleep, and it's disrupted. I had to go pick up from the, after I got from school, I had to go pick my baby up, and then when I picked her up, we had like, let's see, I got out and it was like 4:35, and I had to go straight from there, run right to pick my daughter up, and then I would go straight to the to Howard to go to the Odyssey program, and it was really difficult. I was just running.
Well, it was mainly home problems. I have a daughter, so it was really like who was gonna, even though they had a daycare program, I really didn't want to take her out, and then my car stopped working. And it's all the way on 30-something, 30th and Cottage, and I live all the way over here in 100, so it was really hard for me to get back and forth, especially with no help and my daughter. I really don't like hugging on the bus or being out that late, because by the time I got home on my way back, it was really dark.
Well, there were some people in there that I didn't particularly care. Like, they completely just took over the classroom, and I didn't really get to hear the teacher speak a lot of times, so it made it a difficult experience.
Play-Doh was my favorite. The allegory of the cave, it was one of those, I would say, earth-shattering moments for me. You know, I'd walk into class and I wouldn't, you know, be where I should be mentally, and all of a sudden, you know, the professor would say something, a light bulb would, you know, go off in my head. It gave me a totally different outlook on, you know, life.
This made me feel a part of something greater. And when I say greater, it's because of the simple fact you don't know who's in the room. You got a storekeeper in a room that has such a passion for Aristotle, and you want to know why afterwards, because all of a sudden the subject matter in which we're talking about brings that out.
The teachers, once they came in, instead of them coming in going into a corner, they came in and engaged us. So they wanted to know how were we doing, you know, what was going on. We also had can't remember her name. She was our liaison. She called and checked on us. How are you doing? You need any help? What other references? You know, even outside of the Odyssey Project, I had a situation with my daughter's school, and I was able to explain this to her, and she came back the next week with a list of references, people I can call and talk to who can help us with this situation. So it really became a family environment that was conducive to my educational benefits.
It would have been a lot better if those classes were morning or afternoon, early afternoon. That would have been great, and I would have been able to do it.
Probably more writing workshops versus just saying you have a paper to do, here's a tutor, but if you do a writing workshop before that, that might be helpful.
Just promote it more, for the simple fact that, you know, it can be much larger than what it is. It's people need to know what's going on.
The Odyssey Project is founded on the premise to make people conviction that the engagement with the humanities can offer individuals a way out of poverty by fostering skills, communication, and critical thinking in a way of making you free.
I've sort of picked up the philosophy that you don't have to be in the classroom to continue your education, you know, so, you know, I think I'm still learning. Yes. I think I'm still growing.